Shalom. Call Allah, Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai. All praises, glory, and honor due unto Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakah HaKodash. And double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone of GMS that do rule well and that do teach well and that have taught me this truth. To you I say Shalom and Shalom unto the hopeful elect. This is Brother Gabari Allah. Lord willing, this will be edifying. May Hebrew Israelite. Let's get it. So this is Psalms chapter 46, verse 9. He maketh wars to cease unto the end of the earth. He breaketh the bow and cutteth the spear in sunder. He burneth the chariot in the fire, but still and know that I am the Most High. I will be exalted among the heathen. I will be exalted in the earth. Lord Yahweh of armies is with us. The power of Yahweh is our refuge. Salah. You see that? So you have to remember, it is the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai that is able to put an end to the wars that these nations are experiencing. And he's also able to crown them with peace. You also have to remember that war and peace depend on the word and will of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, just as much as the storms and calms at the sea do. Like these vicious storms that you see, the Lord is in control all of that. And this war, this third woe that we're about to experience is actually a storm. And that's pursuing to what? Revelation, the 7th chapter. Because it talks about a destroying wind. So you have to remember, war and peace depend on the will and the word of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Right? And the only way that you're going to get through is by believing in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. If you go to battle, you have to call upon the Lord to be with you. Because if he's not with you, you're going to be overtaken like a flood. Like how a flood overtakes things. Because that's how the enemy is going to come. They're going to come like a flood. Non-stop. Non-stop. That's pursuant to Psalms 124, man. So hey, the Lord is a man of war. People forget that, and that's why all this tension is brewing on the earth. You think the Lord wants this to stop? No, the Lord wants this to happen, because you people are wicked. So if you're wicked, he's going to bring war to your land and your homes. Just remember that. So this is Exodus chapter 15, verse 3. Yahweh is a man of war. Yahweh is his name. You see that? Get another one. Amos chapter 3, verse 6. Shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid? Shall there be evil in a city, and Yahweh hath not done it? You see that? So World War III is going to happen because the Lord did it. He wants it to happen. See that? 1 Samuel 2 and 6. Yahweh killeth and maketh alive. He bringeth down to the grave and bringeth up. See? So the Lord, he killeth and he maketh alive too. And people are killed during war. People are killed. And that's just how it is. That's just how it is. And that's what's going to play out in these last days. Let me get this. This is Revelation chapter 9 verse 12. One woe is past, and behold, there come two woes more hereafter. That first woe is going into World War I. World War I was terrible. Very dangerous, man. Some people thought it was the end of the world by how it was playing out. World War I. And then came what? World War II. But after World War I, they made something called the League of Nations. That was set up to prevent another world war from happening. But did that work out? Hell no. World War II happened. And that was worse than World War I. Terrible. A lot of lives were lost. A lot of people lost their land. A lot of people laid claim to lands that didn't belong to them. And we know who they are. Khazars. So a lot of things happened during World War II. It was very catastrophic. It was very bad. You had the atomic bombing that took place on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Fat boy and little boy. Terrible. And after World War II, what did they create? They created the UN and NATO. And that's to prevent another world war from happening. But is it looking that way? No. We're in the midst of World War III right now. And you can see it. You can see it with all the signs that are written in the Bible and just going into current events. These different nations, especially Russia, Belarus, North Korea, China, they're all ready for World War III, man. Right along with the Western world. East versus West. That's how it's going to play out. That's how it's going to play out. Lord's not joking, man. The Lord is a power that cannot lie. And he is a man of war. We just read it in Exodus 15:3. When you're wicked, the Lord is going to bring war to your lands and your homes. And that's to judge you. That is to judge you. So this is the first article. I got two coming out of zerohedge.com and one coming out of RT.com, which is Russia Today. Links will be in the description, of course. It says Kremlin issues nuclear warning aimed at West as Ukraine peace efforts stall. You see this? I'm going to start here. Russia has issued a fresh nuclear warning aimed at the West at an ultra-sensitive moment that diplomatic engagement with the U.S. on efforts to achieve peace in Ukraine are stalling. That's true. They can't come to a decision, proper decision. That Zelensky guy over there in Ukraine, he's causing problems. You have Trump coming out and saying that Putin is easier to deal with than Zelensky. But Zelensky is fighting, man, to keep that country, to stay, fighting to stay in power. He might lose it. He might lose it. We don't know. So it says Security of the Security Council of the Russian Federation, Sergei Shoigu, laid out in fresh comments that Russia reserves the right to use nuclear weapons if under direct aggression from Western nations, which includes close ally Belarus coming under threat. Shoigu reminded the world that the new amendments made to Russia's nuclear doctrine back in November means Russian leaders can use nuclear weapons in the event of aggression against it or the Republic of Belarus, including with the use of conventional weapons. So, hey, they're telling you, mess with us, you touch our property, you touch our homeland, you mess with Russia and our close allies, we're not going to hesitate to use nuclear weapons. We'll blow you into oblivion. We'll blow you sky high. We don't care. We don't care. So the Lord is going to remove those angels spoken of in Revelation, the 7th chapter. Those angels that are holding back the destroying wind. Right now they're working on the minds of the kings of the earth to keep the peace or to not use nuclear weapons. But soon the angels will be taken away. So Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai is in control, man. He's in control. Because these nations would have blown up each other already. This world would have already been turned to ash if it wasn't for Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. A lot of you people, man, are receiving benefits and you don't even know it. The Lord is very merciful, man. Very, very merciful. So let's get this. It says here, North Korean missile used in deadly Russian attack on Kiev, Ukraine claims. So yeah, attacking the capital city once again, Kiev. And they say that it was a North Korean ballistic missile, the KN-23. So that it is like World War III. All these different nations are getting involved, man. It's just not full blown yet. Because all these nations are getting involved. NATO is backing who? Ukraine. You got Ukraine forces over there. I mean, not Ukraine forces. I mean, you got NATO forces over there in Ukraine, backing them up. Got North Korea. It seems like World War III to me. All these nations are coming together. Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. But it's not unbelievable. You know why? Because it's spoken of in the scriptures. I'm just saying that for a lack of better words. It is believable. Because it's written in the scriptures, man. And if you can see it, you can see it. If you can't, you can't. So I'm going to play the clip. Yeah, that's one. So they hit Kiev here. That's the ballistic missile. Now it says the aftermath of the Russian missile attack on Kiev. This is a residential building. There might still be people under the debris. There are also reports that another residential building might have been damaged by a Russian drone. A very difficult night in Kiev. Oh, it's not. I guess it took me to the link. Hey man, just one little missile can cause problems. One little missile, one Scud missile, one ballistic missile. So imagine it when this goes nuclear. Dig through all that debris. Everything is gonna be vaporized, man, by that destroying wind. But this is terrible. Anyways, next one. It says NATO forces in Ukraine could trigger World War III. Russia's security chief. The presence of foreign peacekeepers could lead to a direct confrontation with Russia. Sergei Shoigu has warned. So he's showing up again here in RT. And he's talking about peacekeepers. You notice it's in quotations because that's not what they're coming to do. They're not coming to keep the peace. They're coming to bring war. How can you keep peace with a weapon, with a sword in your hand? That's what they're doing. Their peacekeepers are soldiers. And they're heavily armed. Come on, man. But hey, that goes into Daniel the 8th chapter. By peace he shall destroy many. Talking about this Edomite. Because that's how he moves. That's how he moves. Because his blessing is a sword. By thy sword thou shalt live. That's in Genesis. So he ain't coming to keep he ain't coming to keep the peace. He's coming to bring destruction. So it says the deployment. Actually, let me pull that up. I have it here. This is Daniel chapter 8, verse 25. And through his policy, so going into his laws, his contracts, also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand, and he shall magnify himself in his heart. That's right. So he has a God complex. He thinks he's like God. That's how he is. And by peace shall destroy many. He shall also stand up against the Prince of Princes, but he shall be broken without hand. The Prince of Princes is going into Yahushua. And Yahushua is going to take them down, take everybody down. Go into Revelation, the 19th chapter and 11th verse on down. Talks about how he's going to take the crowns off of the kings of the earth's heads. And he is. Because Yahushua is going to come back with a great army. A great army, an angelic army. Unstoppable. But the main point is, by peace shall destroy many. So when he says peace, I come in peace, he's really coming to destroy you. He's coming to destroy you. And that's why he's calling them out. So the deployment of foreign troops to Ukraine could lead to a clash between Russia and NATO, and ultimately to World War III. Sergei Shoigu, Secretary of Russia's National Security Council, has warned the term peacekeepers is being used as a cover for the true objective of establishing control over Ukraine, according to the official. The defense chiefs from a number of NATO member states, led by the UK and France, have been discussing the idea of positioning a peacekeeping force in Ukraine. They claim the troops would contribute to a lasting peace between Russia and Ukraine. Russia has rejected the deployment of NATO forces or troops from members of the bloc under a coalition of the willing to Ukraine under any pretext. In an interview published on Thursday by TASS, Shoigu, who previously served as Russia's defense minister, stated that the presence of foreign peacekeepers on Russia's historic territories could provoke a direct confrontation between Moscow and NATO, potentially escalating into a third world war. Salakia. According to him, this risk is acknowledged by reasonable politicians in Europe. The term peacekeepers is being used to mask the true objective of gaining control over Ukrainian territory and its resources, Shigu believes. He argued that it would be more accurate to describe such a force as invaders or occupiers. That's right. That's right, man. And that's what they are. They are invaders. They are occupiers. The scripture says the thief cometh not but to steal. That's what they are. Invaders, raiders, occupiers. They're not coming to bring peace. They're coming to steal. They're coming to kill and to dominate. Because that's what they want to do. That's what they want to do. Now, let me go into this. This is Revelation chapter 1, 7 verse 1. And after these things I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth, holding the 4 winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree. And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living power. And he cried with a loud voice to the 4 angels to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea, saying, Hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our power in their foreheads. So the elect has to be sealed before destruction pops off. So you have these 4 angels holding back the 4 winds of the earth, which is that destroying wind. They're holding it back. And it's not until the Lord gives them the go-ahead to let loose, to bring forth that destruction. This is Psalms 107 verse 25. He commandeth and raiseth the stormy wind, which lifteth up the waves thereof. They mount up to the heaven, they go down again to the depths. Their soul is melted because of trouble. They reel to and fro and stagger like a drunken man, and are at their wits' end. You see that? And you know, when you go into Isaiah, I believe it's 24 and 20, it talks about how the earth is going to reel to and fro like a drunkard when this destruction hits. And that's why I read earlier in Psalms, I believe it was Psalms the 46th chapter, I was just breaking it down how really war and peace depend on the word and will of Yahweh B'Shem Yoshai, just as much as storms and calms at the sea do. So these storms that happen on earth, they're likened to these wars on earth. You know, these wars and conflicts, that's a storm within itself. Right? That's a storm within itself. So I'm just showing you, man, the Lord is in control. The Lord is in control. Since I mentioned that, let me get Isaiah. I think it's Isaiah 24. I think it's 24 and 20. Yeah, 24 and 20. It says Isaiah 24 and 20, the earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard, and shall be removed like a cottage, and the transgression thereof shall be heavy upon it, and it shall fall and not rise again. See that? And it shall come to pass in that day that Yahweh shall punish the hosts of the high ones that are on high, and the kings of the earth upon the earth, and they shall be gathered together as prisoners are gathered in a pit, and shall be shut up in the prison, and after many days shall they be visited. See? So that reel to and fro like a drunkard is going into nuclear destruction. What can move the earth like that? Nuclear destruction can. And that's why you go into Revelation 6, it talks about that. How this destruction remove all the islands out of place. I think that's Revelation 6 and 15 or 13, I believe. See if we can find it. But this destruction is like a storm, man. A serious storm that's about to tear shit up. And we went into Revelation, the 7th chapter. They call it a destroying wind. Hey, man, when you go into Isaiah 66 and 15, what does it say? It likens destruction onto a whirlwind. I have it right here. This is Isaiah chapter 66, verse 15. For behold, Yahweh will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind. See? To render his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire. For by fire and by his sword will Yahweh plead with all flesh, and the slain of Yahweh shall be many. Damn. The storm of World War III is going to tear shit up. And it's going to slay many. And also the Lord himself is going to come back and slay many. Yeah. Because you people are against him. The Lord is coming back to take down his enemies too. I got to add that, man. You know, since I mentioned that, let's get it. This is Luke chapter 19, verse 27. But those mine enemies which would not that I should reign over them, bring hither and slay them before me. You guys are not going to want to bend the knee to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. So Yahushai, the only begotten Son, is going to get rid of you. He's going to slay you and chop your heads off, man. You don't want to get with the program. You don't want to bow down. You don't want to submit. Then he's going to destroy you, man. And good. Now, let's go into Revelation chapter. Let's go into. Hold on. Here we go. This is Revelation chapter 6, verse 13. And the stars of heaven fell onto the earth, even as a fig tree casts her untimely figs when she is shaken of a mighty wind. That mighty wind we read in Revelation the 7th chapter. That's going into nuclear destruction. That's storm. Verse 14. And the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together, and every mountain and island were moved out of their places. That's that reel to and fro like a drunkard. That's why all the islands are going to be moved out of their places. Some of them are going to be even submerged underwater. That's how catastrophic this destruction is going to be, this storm. This is the type of storm and destruction mankind has never experienced before. Do you know the amount of force and power that it takes to do that? That's insane, man. That's insane. Verse 15, and the kings of the earth, and the great men, and the rich men, and the chief captains, and the mighty men, and every bondman, and every free man hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains. Yeah, so they're going to go into their bunkers for a period of time to avoid the destruction. Verse 16, and said to the mountains and rocks, fall on us, and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb. That's talking about Yahushua. They're scared of him. For the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand? And they know that. They know that. And he's coming back to kill you. Read it in Luke the 19th chapter. Now, let me get this. This is Isaiah chapter 54. Verse 16. Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work, and I have created the waster to destroy. The Lord created this. You know, the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire is going into the scientists, the physicists that created the nuclear weapons that we have today. Going back to the Manhattan Project. Yeah, and going into all those physicists that created nuclear weapons and things of that nature. And I have created the waster to destroy. That's what he's doing. The Lord made them create this so they can destroy themselves. And your blessing is your own curse. That sword that you use to rule and to live, it's a curse onto you also, because you're going to destroy yourself while you're living. Verse 17, no weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper, and every tongue that shall rise against thee in judgment thou shalt condemn. This is the heritage of the servants of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, and their righteousness is of me, saith Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. And no weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper. The only ones that are going to get out of this safely is really the elect. And the elect is going to bring back the nation, the entire nation. But yes, the elect won't be affected by this destruction. The elect won't be affected. The elect are set up to get the victory. They're set up to be saved. So only a certain portion of individuals are going to survive this destruction, this storm. What else do I got here? Yeah, okay, this is a good one. This is 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 18. And if the righteous scarcely be saved, where shall the ungodly and the sinner appear? Wherefore, let them that suffer according to the will of the Most High commit the keeping of their souls to him in well-doing, as unto a faithful Creator. Yeah, so the righteous will be scarcely saved. And that's going to play out by the way of Psalms, the 91st chapter. Because we're going to be delivered right before this destruction. As soon as it's happening, boom, you're getting delivered. You're getting beamed up. Now this is Psalms chapter 91, verse 7. And it says, 1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee. Only with thine eyes shalt thou behold and see the reward of the wicked, which we will. Which we will. Talking about the elect being in them ships. Revelation, the 15th chapter and the 2nd verse. Going into the sea of glass mingled with fire. The elect, the angels, and Yahushua himself will be watching that destruction. And we will see the reward of the wicked. The wicked being the 2/3 and you other nations, starting with the so-called white man. But this is how we're going to be scarcely saved. 1,000 shall fall at thy side. You're going to see people dropping dead left and right. And 10,000 at thy right side. But it shall not come nigh thee. Scarcely saved. Isaiah 33:6. Wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy time and the strength of thy salvation. Thinking about that, man. Lord keeping also a hedge of angels around you to protect you. But that's that destruction. Now anyways, man, that's it. Hope this was edifying. Till next time, just want to give all praises, glory, and honor due unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakah HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone of GMS that do teach well and that have taught me this truth. To you I say Shalom. Shalom unto the hopeful elect.